So we're going to start with a basic overview. I did this in three parts. So this is kind of like an, overview of the current year, um, end of year, and this is kind of like what to expect for next year. I see already there's a lot of major energy movement in your cards. You've got the Chariot, you've got the Lovers, the Queen of Cups, Knight of Wands. There's a lot going on. This part, we see your Seven of Cups. That's creativity, imagination, ideas that you perhaps were forming and trying to bring to fruition. Um, Depression, anxiety, loneliness. Cups have a lot to do with your emotions. And so as you can see, you have a whole lot of cups going on. You've got your Queen of Cups, you've got your Seven of Cups, you have a Five of Cups, you have the Two of Cups. So cups have to do with love and relationship. It could be love for a person, it could be love for a new endeavor. Um, this card right here, the Ten of Pentacles, finances, decisions, a little bit of hardship, um, bills, things that have to be tended to that have to do with your finances and your career and the moves that you want to make. Um, there's abundance, but there's also uncertainty, and it has a lot to do with that. So, new love, new love um, towards the end of the year. Um, I see the Queen of Cups here. Got the cups again. And she represents stability, but not as stern as the King. And so there is some passion here, but there's also a sort of turning away from old things, turning away from the way that things were, or maybe you were turning away from a relationship that did not work out. But this is very strong in love. The Two of Cups is love. This is an exchange of love. And this is a beautiful exchange. This is an even exchange. Twos also represent a fork in the road, though. There's a fork in the road. I don't know if you were, in a relationship and things weren't necessarily going how you wanted, and you're trying to decide whether to continue with this or leave, or maybe you fell in love with a new endeavor, a new project, and now you have to decide whether this is something that you really want to pursue. Um, and finally, the Chariot. Changes of direction. You're being pulled in many different directions. You're trying to decide where to go. You're turning away from old things, from old ways, from old paths. And you are very, very pressed to sort of make this new year not as anxious. And you got the Wands. Lots of adventure. Wands are adventure. Wands are travel. Wands are, but then you have the Knight of Wands, and he's like a teenager. So don't be too hasty. Don't be too hasty. Be very careful and diligent in making your decisions, because this is a very strong personality that tends to run in head first without really necessarily thinking. That's the teenager personality. Then you have all this possibility of beautiful things that are coming, but decisions. You don't know. where to go with this. But the truth is, you are moving in the right direction because you have this, you're going steadfastly. You're going steadfastly. But the Chariot is bringing in a little bit more stability to this situation. The Chariot is the one that's allowing you to have a sort of clear head of thought to see where you're going. You don't know, but you can see the opportunities presented before you. And